What is up, everybody? Greg here of the Slackercast with you today. I'm just doing a short video to discuss my thoughts on, as you see in the title, Hell House LLC. I just watched this maybe about an hour ago, and it was recommended to me on TikTok, of all places, if you can believe it. I follow some stream on TikTok where they are always talking about, like, the horror movies that you must see. It usually starts out with some guy who's like, horror movies you must see, volume 26. And then the guy gets into explaining the movie. But I stumbled across this one on there, and I looked it up, and it looked interesting to me because I'm a junkie for like POV or found footage type movies. So as soon as I saw that was one of those, I immediately had to see it. But here's the cover art for it. It's actually pretty cool cover art. I think I'm going to try to get this one on Blu-ray sometime here soon because I actually really enjoyed the movie. And I'll tell you why real quick here. First off, let me give you a little brief discussion on what it's actually about. Like I said, it's a found footage movie or a point of view movie, whichever you like to call them, about a group of people who are trying to create a haunted house in this old abandoned building with a pretty dark history. The first thing I noticed was, the people they introduce you to are your typical guys or girls that you see in these type of movies that are usually not very likable to begin with, so you're kind of rooting against them from the jump. But I mean, these weren't as bad as some of the others I've seen before. They weren't quite as douchey. But the first thing I noticed is, like, as they're putting together the haunted house, they were like making these dummies or mannequins, whatever you want to call them. But man, they were creepy as hell. Like they did an excellent job on constructing these things. If I went in a haunted house, I'd be freaked out by them. And I think we all have always wanted that experience too, to where, like, I think that's why this movie hit home with me, because we've all probably talked about it before where, like, you go to a haunted house and you're like, what if they had a haunted house that, was actually real? The stuff in it that was going on was real. I'm sure everybody's had that conversation with a friend or someone before after going to a haunted house. But yeah, the dummies or mannequins that they had were really good. And they, throughout the movie, they kept doing this thing where they just show up in random places around the house. And of course, at first, they thought it was this guy in the movie named Paul who's always pulling pranks and such. But, of course, there was a sinister plot on the horizon. But one of the things I loved about this movie was the stalking. Like, I'm a big fan of setting up a scene in horror movies where the bad guy doesn't come after him instantly. Like, I want him to creep me out first and make me wonder what exactly they're going to do before they start doing stuff. And these things did that. They constantly showed up and were just looking at people, stalking, kind of that Michael Myers-ish kind of way. And I like that about it. There was a scene later on in the movie to where this guy encounters one of them, and he's so freaked out, like the only thing he can think to do is just hide under the covers. And, like, I don't know why, but I really enjoyed that scene because it's typical reaction. Like, if you're helpless in a situation like that, you're gonna do one of two things. You're either gonna run away, which most people are gonna probably do exactly that, maybe just run, or you're gonna get paralyzed from being so scared and just try to cover yourself with the nearest thing possible. In this situation, it was a sheet that was almost see-through. So. But I like that scene because, it built that moment to where when you finally see what happens, it's a good payoff. But basically, the story is being told by a survivor of the tragic event that happened, which is what the whole movie is about. Pretty much at the beginning of the movie, you see like this YouTuber's footage of the house whenever all hell broke loose, literally. And it's kind of all over the place. So you're wondering, you're like, what the hell's happened? And then, you get into her being interviewed. You see she lived, and she starts telling the story. And it kind of goes from there. But I really liked it. So I definitely recommend giving it a watch if you're into the found footage or POV type movies. And it actually made me think of something that I was talking about with some friends of mine earlier today that may have to be a road trip in the future. I guess since this movie was called Hell's House, it made me think of this place called the Hell's Gate Bridge, which is supposed to be this haunted bridge in Oxford, Alabama. I got the page loaded up here. I'll share it real quick so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about here. But the story behind this bridge is, I guess, a couple at some point drove off of it. I don't know if they were making out or what, but I guess somehow the car drove off and they ended up in the water and died. And allegedly, if you go to this bridge, you can't drive on it now, but back when you could go on the bridge, and like if you turn your car, I guess in neutral or something like that, you can hear the screams or something like that. I don't think it was neutral. I think they just said put your car in park and turn the lights off, and you hear the screams of the people dying whenever they went over the bridge. So I looked this place up, and it's about 5 hours from where I live. So it'd be quite a drive if me and my co-host Lawrence, or maybe some other friends, wanted to try to drive out there, see what's going on, maybe do a live video on it. But I'm definitely interested in thinking about driving out there. There's a YouTube video on it. If anyone wants to check that out, just look up Hell's Gate Bridge, Alabama, and you'll find it pretty easy. But yeah, this place is intriguing. I wanna go check it out. Totally unrelated to the movie I watched earlier, but I figured since Hell was in both of their titles, why not mention them both? But that's basically all I got. Hell House LLC. Go check it out. It's really good found footage movie. The whole haunted house premise was different. That's kind of what I liked about it. Not different in the sense that they haven't done that in any of the found footage movies before, but different in the sense that they were trying to like set something up as like some type of event, and then something went wrong. So it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the makeup and the costumes, and that was actually one of the best parts of the movie. The acting was probably subpar, but you're not watching a found footage movie for spectacular acting. I mean, if you are, you're probably watching it for the wrong reason. But I think that's all I really got for this reaction video. Just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit. Coming up on Monday, we're going to be doing some more Sopranos watch along. We may do one episode, we may do two. Me and Lawrence haven't really decided yet. We'll keep you posted on that when that episode airs on Monday. It'll probably be around 10 p.m. Monday. And then Tuesday, another episode of the Slackercast. And this week's list is going to be our top 10 favorite athletes. This was picked by Dustin, and I actually enjoyed putting this list together more than I thought I was going to. It should be interesting, though, to see who everyone's picks are, who everyone thinks is the best, or who's just their favorite. I think we're going to have I can't think of the numbers after his name right now, so apologize, Orc, but he's always on people's YouTube channels on our little network we have here. But Orc is going to join us on that episode, and also Jay the Stingray is going to join us as well, I believe, with their list. So, yeah, check out our Patreon if you'd like to give us some support at patreon.com/theslackercast. We do have a merch store now if you want to pick you up some Slackercast merch. It's theslackercast.com. And also, we have an affiliate. They're a t-shirt and a clothing company called Sovereign. They have some really cool stuff. I actually got one of their shirts in the mail the other day. It's good, high-quality stuff. Go check them out at sovereign.com. Spelled just like it sounds, only replace the N with an X at the end there. And use Slack off for 25% off and a free shipping. So it's going to wrap this one up. Until next time, slack off.